Oh, shut up.
Ninjas.
They're just in the office. It's so funny.
Oh, don't worry, they're good now. They use their powers for justice.
I'm not even kidding. That is a primo office joke. Like Michael Scott hired security, and they're just ninjas, and they all just stand there. He's like, "Yeah, I think they're doing great."
I've seen those movies, ninjas.
Also, that line you just said there, like, "Oh, I hired some ninjas. They're just good now." That's kind of the actual line in the film.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much better than that.
It's close to what he says. It is, and there's a whole bunch of familiar tech. We even see the Shocker's gauntlet because that will come back later in the movie. And basically Metzger explains the Damage Control's mission is to redirect destructive technology and abilities towards noble causes. And we'll learn more about what that means. And then they just talk about essentially what we already know, which is that they're facing a threat which nobody can see or combat, except for Spider-Man, who seems to be impervious to whatever it is. And just outside of the office sits a giant vault, and Spider-Man wonders aloud if the bad guy's trying to access that vault. It is pretty funny that this is said because there isn't actually like anything relevant in that vault. The only reason it becomes relevant is because people decide to go into that vault to hide. So it's kind of like a red herring, I guess, is what you could say about that. And then because Metzger says, there are things that even he can't share with Spider-Man, but they should work together. And before Spider-Man leaves, he asks Metzger if VMAX means anything to him, and Metzger says no. And he is telling the truth.
Yeah, he is telling the truth. But to be clear, he does give him, like, instructions. And I was fucking blown away at this point in the movie, because I was like, have we actually just had a scene where Spider-Man is taking instructions from DeWolf, and then a scene where he takes instructions from Yelena, and then a scene where he takes instructions from Metzger? Like, what in the fuck happened? I thought he was supposed to be his own man, dude. Like, what the hell?
Oh,
No,
so
he's
that's how he gets money.
He's Metzger boy. He's Yelena boy.
Yeah,
he's
that's true.
He's the wolf boy.
The wolf boy. the pup.
Yeah.
So there's another issue here as well that should be kind of playing into every scene going forward, but so Peter should maybe be thinking in the back of his mind that any person that he talks to could be possessed.
Of course.
Nah. That would make sense.
Or a scroll.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Well, yes, that's right. Because we haven't gotten any update on the war, the righteous war against the infiltrators that have taken over.
Talk
we don't
about
know,
the
that's just
war.
over.
they just don't.
He could just straight from his ship. Well, I was just stationary. So went straight by loop. Play the game. I hate how people just run away in EU servers. Shoot back. Play the game. Fuck. Fuck off, man. I heard the claymore as well. I'm an idiot.
Well,
Talk
it's
about
funny
the
because who is the president in the MCU? Because that guy was in, and then Fury said he'd be a one-term president, and that was true. And then we got
Harrison
Ross.
Ford.
Now Ross is in jail. Well, he's in jail. So who is the president now?
Ross is VP.
Who was that?
I think it was Waldrick.
Oh, was it? Was it Waldrick? Okay.
No, but I could
Anyway,
hope.
Waldrick is
dream.
imagine the New York mayor ticket where it's like Fisk versus Waldrick, and you have to vote for one of them. Like, what do you like? You could
That
choose
feels like
between
I mean,
Fisk
that's an
and
easy choice, but
Waldrick.
I imagine you were trying to make it like in The Simpsons where it's, Kang versus Kodos. Like, you have to vote for one of us, and then Homer's like, I voted for
Yeah.
Kodos before getting whipped. As he is. It's like,
We're obviously Team Waldrick all the way. It's not even close. I mean,
no.
gotta vote for our boy Waldrick.
So
I would vote for Waldrick. Yeah.
that's the end of that. That's the end of that scene. And so now we've got Peter in a I'm not wrong, right? It is a bodega. That's what he's in. Like a convenience store, but it's a New York convenience store. I just want to get the terminology correct.
Yeah,
But he's in
I
there.
think something like that. Yeah,
And he's
Corner
munching on
store.
some food. And he's on the phone with DeWolf.
Okay. Yeah.
And says that EV is running facial recognition on a bunch of cameras around the city looking for Scorpion. And DeWolf points out this is illegal, but nothing will come of this.
Oh well.
Don't worry about
He's
it. There are no
got an
ethical
AI.
concerns to be had.
He's doing the Dark
He's doing the
Knight.
Batman. Yeah, the Batman. Yeah. At least
I'm
in
just
the
like,
Dark
oh, whatever.
Knight, they recognized, man, this could really be abused, this thing that we're doing, you know? But
What
maybe
do
we
they-
should briefly discuss it.
What do they say
Even that
explicitly
movie
that
did.
it's doing? Like,
It's Evie is like accessed all the cameras throughout New York and is like
He's running
scanning
face
faces to look for
scans, yeah.
Scorpion. So yeah, it is yeah. Again,
There's a
I don't know,
central database that's scanning everybody in the city.
I do enjoy that
all the
it's not
time.
interesting. It's like, yeah, but Spider-Man's a good guy though.
Mm.
So it's okay if he violates the privacy
So I've already
of
seen
everybody.
the overwhelming praise for this film is happening, but there are some, let's just say, comments about, wait, did Spider-Man do it? And you're like, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
He did
mhm.
everything.
And then that's
Yep.
going to overwhelm the praise of this film eventually once the hype
Well,
dies
of
down.
course it will. Mhm.
Oh,
And speak. Yeah, go for it.
does Peter's personal AI run on drinkable water too? Or
Well, yes, that is awkward. Peter Parker is pro AI, so that's
But did
his,
he- I'm clear. Did he create this one?
He did. Yes.
who
Yeah,
knows?
He created Evie. I
Yeah,
wonder
he's
what
very
services
smart because
like,
the
how
film
much
says
water,
he's smart.
Yeah, water
He doesn't do anything.
It's a
He doesn't
really
do smart things. The film just said he has done smart.
Yeah, it's a
things.
great choice to have him create an incredible, amazing, top-notch, unstoppable AI off screen that then solves problems that he could have solved if he were just more intelligent.
And also, he keeps it to himself. He
Yeah.
doesn't apply it for like medical research or anything. It's just for
Yeah.
him. Just for
Interesting
me.
fella, that Pete.
Good for him to
So,
have an employee on the file. For
It's
tax
funny because,
reasons.
like, if such a guy existed, right, and the public got to know that that same superhero of theirs was using AI for most of his work, he would be canceled in no time and like shit on all over.
You're not
But,
using that AI you made for anything unethical, right? Like, no, no, not at all. Just to
He's just a bit
help me
lonely.
with Wordle. Yeah.
Does this make
So,
him, in some ways,
yeah.
worse than Ironheart? Because, you know, she
Yeah.
actually has a line at the beginning of her show where she says, you know,
Again, you won't. Oh, I'm so bad. Another knife try.
Bounty targets are up. Get after them. Targets evaded. Bounty contract
I need all of these resources so I can do stuff like, you know, healing the sick and feeding the hungry. Whereas he seems not to have contemplated any of that at all. He doesn't steal that we know of, so he's improvement, like he's an improvement in that respect. But in terms of his moral conscience,
Yes.
like doesn't seem to have like a very global view. All these other uses to which his technology could be put, and is not.
Yeah, I think this movie makes Peter uncomfortably close to being somewhat on the level of Ironheart, which is
Oh
what
no.
is her
He's
name? Lyra?
icon- he's
What the fuck?
iconic.
Yeah.
So Ned enters the bodega. This is seemingly a pure coincidence. Because this is just the one that Peter goes to all the time to get his flowers. So Ned is here. I'm not wrong, right? This is just a pure 100% coincidence.
I
that
think
Ned
I think it
bumped
is a
into him
coincidence.
here.
Yes.
I don't
How big
see
is
the link the
Manhattan?
other way.
How many? Isn't it like 12 kilometers long? How
I
many
think it's just the one
bodegas are
street.
there in New York?
There's
Isn't that-
probably
I
like
assume there are
one
like
bodega for like
hundreds.
every 3 people, right?
Yeah, like I assume that there's a lot of them. I mean, isn't there like in like 5 million New York? How many people live in New York? Isn't it like if you add up like in Manhattan, it's like 2 or 3 million people in like Manhattan alone, or like 1 million.
Your counter UAV has been eliminated.
Oh man. Fuck off, bro.
It's a lot of people. It's a big city. You know,
Takes hits,
a
bro.
What's your
lot
opinion?
of people live there. So yeah, that's
I'm not
just
able to
crazy.
It's 8
coincidence.
million people.
Well,
This is
that's
the-
all
this is
of
a-
Man- That's like
Oh, the
that's like
entirety,
New York,
yeah.
Queens, because the metro area is like 20 million or something, isn't it? It's like, I mean, it's
Yeah,
one of the
20
biggest
million,
cities in
yeah.
the world. Anyway, they had to
Yeah, the point being, this is a certified and then moment.
a very much an ad, and bear in mind, this is so fucking important. This is what essentially sets off the big metamorphosis in
The and thens
I feel
won't
like I got
stop.
that word wrong. Yes.
And they don't stop
So
coming,
and
they don't
then
stop coming.
yes, and then Ned enters the bodega, and he Peter's watching him as Ned tells the clerk not to sell him any energy drinks, which he may come back to buy anyway to help him study for his exams. And then he buys a can. He buys it anyway, talks himself into it, and it's like, oh, Ned, silly you.
Our favorite
and
character,
so then,
Ned.
And so then Peter
Particular
stalks Ned back to his apartment, where he's throwing a big party. And he goes inside into this party, and he finds a big board on the wall that's dedicated to uncovering the identity of Spider-Man. And Ned comes out and bumps into Peter, and he explains that Spider-Man saved his life a few times during high school, and he just wants to find him and thank him. So that's like your first sort of explicit thing of, yeah, okay, so he remembers Spider-Man being essentially relevant to his life, but I guess he doesn't. Which I guess the way that you'd reconcile that
Nature
is
of the
that if Peter
magic.
was wearing the
guess.
suit when he was workshopping, like when the other Peters came in, you know, and they were working, because he must not remember them either. I mean, if he doesn't remember Peter Parker, you know, Peter 1, he can't remember 2 or 3 either, I would assume.
I assume that
whatever.
if anything, I guess the magic would know that. Well, even though we have the very last, we'll get there. But I assume that the magic was like, if that would draw a connection between the two, it is erased
Which it
and
must.
replaced with
Yeah.
something else. I guess that's the nature of the magic. I will
Okay.
say though, I wrote some down because I legitimately don't know the answer. Unironically, in the Disney canon, he picks up like a Chewbacca Lego piece because they built the Death Star in Homecoming. Oh my gosh, does the sequel trilogy exist in the MCU?
Probably.
I would assume yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just they only ever reference the OT with all of their Star Wars stuff.
Yeah,
With-
but
yeah.
they do that anyway. Yeah, so I was curious. I didn't know if there was some sort of a political upheaval or because Obama only got one term or whatever.
You're
the sequel
saying-
trilogy doesn't exist. Like there's a domino effect of no Rey Skywalker.
You were hoping that this Nightmare World was at least spared that, but no, they have
Or
it as
maybe
well.
it
if
got
you will.
blipped. Maybe Ray Skywalker got blipped.
Oh,
Maybe-
Well,
oh,
I
yeah,
guess
that-
the
I don't know.
blip would have happened when the Rise of Skywalker was like in production or about to come out because that was 2018.
Oh, that would have stopped
Oh
it.
no.
Yeah.
Thanos was a
Right.
hero.
Well, it is interesting because there will be a Thanos thing that comes up later that is fucking bizarre, but we'll
The lamp.
that's a bit
Fucking hell.
well, it's just
jeez.
it's really awkward.
We'll get there.
Anyway,
We'll get
so,
I had another continuity question though. Does Ned remember he's a wizard?
I forgot about
Only-
That's a good
Does Ned
problem.
remember he
That's
met
the problem.
Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
That's
I
Doctor
would-
Strange.
I forgot that Ned was a wizard.
Because the thing is
the
that
whole story
certain
is
things
like that, no?
look, we don't need. It's fucked. Okay, it's just
All you need to know is
it's
that it's
fucked.
fucked.
Very well.
And to be fair to this movie, it is a problem in No Way Home. That spell it's just absurd.
Mhm.
Even though
Yes.
it can facilitate a decent, payoff for the
best-
character.
Oh yeah. The best thing to do is to just move forward, grin and
Move
bear it,
forward.
and just don't talk
Yep.
about it.
Don't draw our attention to it. This film does. So that is its failing. Anyway, Ned has created an app called Spidey Tracker, which so they share that in common. They like stalking people because it triangulates Spider-Man's location with
Which-
like reported sightings. And
So it
Oh,
does
yeah.
that with other people who have the app. Would just say like, I saw Spider-Man swinging by
other
here.
people have the app. Yeah, and then that like triangulates it. Basically,
I'll be
that
honest.
seems to be the way that it works.
Includes
If that kept going for a while and everyone was pretty good at reporting it, they would be able to figure out where he
They
lives.
figure him out.
Facts.
Oh, of course.
Oh, they would figure it
Yeah.
out in like 2 days.
They can
not
narrow
in-
it down. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
it seems like he always, you'd see like the little. It looked kind of like a spider web. He always leaves from his house, so he goes in a line to a place, kind of, and he always
I
comes
always
back
noticed
a
that he
certain way.
appeared
It's like the
generally in this
heat map.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be the
you
heat
figure
map of
out-
all of his locations would centralize, always
would.
coming. to and from
maybe
one
though
spot.
that data is ruined by the fact that this scanner can detect things in other universes. So
Well,
perhaps
yeah.
the data isn't very
Haha.
useful.
they get false
that is,
positives. Yeah,
To help people understand, the post-credit scene, we see the Spidey tracker has him like somewhere in space. That's the post-credit scene. Spider-Man is somewhere in space.
Ned's a really good programmer.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Great.
Anyway, he does have 2 prime suspects.
Supergirl uses his app.
Yes. He has 2 prime suspects for who it is. Roger Harrington, the teacher, and Flash Thompson, which is mildly amusing. It didn't make me laugh. I don't even think it made me smile, but it was
It
mildly
might have made me
amusing.
giggle.
Did the
There's one
second
thing that
grenade
made me
launcher
laugh.
make you smile?
No,
when
no,
Punisher
there's
pulls
one
out?
thing that made me laugh, and it's really close to the end of the movie, and I'm almost ashamed that I laughed because I don't
It's
like
okay,
the
Fringy, you
movie.
can't control that.
It was a Frank Castle related laugh. So
He
that's
is
much,
the
much,
comic
much, much,
relief
much
in the
later
film,
movie.
Frank.
He is. He's a goober.
That's-
He is a.
right here, chat. Shoot him in my bomb. pussy. What up? Not a booty pussy. Yeah, nah, shouldn't you get, just to notify you? So annoying.
I feel like that's the role that the Punisher should have.
Yeah, see, some of the chat's already
the
figured it
comic
out.
relief.
They've already figured it out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, and
MJ
also
answers
I want
the right. Oh yeah. Go
I
for
want
it.
to add about Ned that if I was Peter in Peter's position, right, and I've been like yarning for my friends for so many years, and I came to
should've
see
found
them
Ned as
finally, and I
well.
saw that, I'd be like,
I
okay,
just assume it's just a shit guy.
time to go. I don't want to deal with this person anymore. It's just so weird. This Ned is mentally unstable.
You're
Well, there's-
constantly yelling at Peter to like drop it, leave them alone, don't go anywhere near them, stop. We had a movie about this. Quit, stop. You're regressing.
He's also got the disheveled, sort of like broken, mad, desperate look, and I was like, oh no. I was hoping we wouldn't do it this
Yes.
way. Jeez. Like, he's like, jeez, I'm so close. I just gotta say hello. Stop it, Peter. Stop it.
So MJ enters the room, and a stunned Peter offers her maize flowers as a housewarming gift. And MJ introduces herself. Peter doesn't reveal his real name. The conversation ends very awkwardly, and MJ and Ned leave the room. And so, yeah.
Peter told Zendaya his name
Well,
at the
he
very
didn't
end.
say at the end. Well, no, he says something like Maine. I think he says Maine, like he's from Maine.
Maine.
No. In
yeah.
previously, at
Maine.
the end of at the end of
Yeah.
No Way Home in the coffee
No Way
shop,
Home, yeah.
I think he says his name.
Yeah, he says I'm Peter Parker.
Oh yeah,
He says I'm
For
Peter
her
Parker.
to write it on the coffee
I
cup.
understand that she wouldn't remember that, even though she does
No.
remember it later, which is kind of funny. But you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. And so Peter watches as MJ tells Ned she turned down a job on moral grounds. She says that something's telling me I'm supposed to be waiting for something great.
She said she doesn't want to work for a Solos corporation, but she did go into an interview to work there. So
Yeah, she
I
did
guess
apply.
Between those two
She did,
points, she learned something.
At some point, she realized not.
Yeah.
And then MJ's boyfriend Ezra Bridger enters the frame. It's Ezra Bridger from Ahsoka.
Oh,
That's his. That's
was
who
him?
that is. Yeah.
I thought he looked familiar, but in a really forgettable sort of way.
Yeah. And then
remember, I wrote here. It's funny in hindsight, especially, but I was watching it. I wrote the note. I'll quote myself. I really hope that this story is about Peter learning to let go of MJ and being happy for her.
Yeah.
No, he's not happy. He sees them kiss, and he is he goes on tearfully, existentially crisisy, swinging around New York in the rain while
Without
recalling
his
all of his
suit.
memories. Yes, and the visual effects in this sequence are terrible, but we're gonna have to wait a couple of months before anybody admits that that's the case. It looks horrible. There's a part where like he
Does not
swings
look
up
good.
towards the camera, and it's as bad as the one that people made fun of in Supergirl. It's like you grab him almost like as a PNG with a transparent background and just zoom it in and twist it towards
You just
the
scale it
camera.
upwards, like you just
Yeah,
stretch it out, like it looks
Yeah.
like it's getting closer when
It
you're
looks-
just making it
it
bigger.
looks horrible. It looks so bad, but
Maybe
nobody's
we'll
willing
need
to
to,
say that right now.
make up their minds as well, because when mixtape goes black and white and as you float through because it's sad, it's like everyone knows that's cringe and horrible, but when Spider-Man does it, it's fine. It's
Peter
not.
Rockford, yeah.
hmm It's just so. I mean, yeah, this feels like it was made for Twitter Spider-Man fans. This scene. Look, it's Peter Parker, and he's crying in the rain about how horrible his life is.
See, he's miserable. He wants to kill
Yeah.
himself. Aren't you happy?
But it's practical.
everything
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
practical how the background is entirely fake. And how, yeah, no, it's super practical. Like, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but pretty much all of these scenes where it's actually like somebody in front of a green screen doing the swinging look really bad. For the most
But
part,
fuck
it looks
off. There's
very
always
fake.
just one guy. bro.
Maybe
Leave me
John Watts
alone,
had a
bro.
point that when you do it like that, it
Fuck
kind of
off.
looks a bit shit compared to if you
I
just
can't just
animate the
leisurely
whole
float,
thing.
'cause this one guy is
Maybe it
just
should be
horny for the
animated
kill.
so that you can
Fuck
get all
off,
of the cool
bro.
dynamic poses that you get in the Spider-Man comics, but oh
Yeah.
well.
It helps that there's less of a contrast that you notice when
That's
it's
the
all
main
just
thing.
Oh
When
my
you put
days,
something
bro.
real,
Fuck
when you
off,
put
man.
something real amongst everything else being fake,
Targets are up. Go take them down.
Wow, you got aimbotted, bro. Holy Phoenix. Okay, honest. I'm trying to win. Level 100. serious? Of course, bro. Like, fuck
Yeah.
It
off,
often looks
man.
worse than if you
Thanks
just
for
do the
the-
whole thing.
Yeah, thanks
Well,
for the
it's just-
frame of reference for reality right there.
Oh my
No, I mean,
God,
it is funny. But it's the
man.
reason why a lot of
Why
trailers,
did you
like
fall
CG trailers
through
for
and then
games, look
somebody
really
said we'll
good,
come
even
back
though
up
like
again?
they're not
Like,
actually
fuck off,
photorealistic.
bro. Like,
But like because everything is
oh
animated,
my
there's
God,
nothing
if I
that comes
cracked him when
out
he was
in a way
down there,
that's
he would've
distracting.
stayed
It's
down.
like very
Yeah, you-
cohesive compared to
You instantly
one
just
very
subconsciously
real
accept
thing.
man.
that's the thing that's going on in your your
Mhm.
game with it. You're gonna operate on its level.
But yeah, and so then Peter goes to his apartment. His arm seizes up. It's got a big old floopy vein there, and he sees that in the reflection, his eyes are black.
Holy
What is
shit!
going on?
Warhammer
And then he tries
reference.
to get up, but he falls to the ground.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
Eddie's gone. This guy killed. Where?
Enemy UAV overhead. Positive ID on the bounty target. Hunt them down. Destroyed. Got gas moving in.
Okay, like, okay.
Keep your head up and return to base.
Like, oh my god, fuck off, bro. These fucking AI people in my chat as well. Go away. I'm at work right now, but add me on Discord.
What
And
could
then
be
in
happening to
his mind,
Peter?
what could be? We're about to find out. But before
Oh my
that, we
goodness.
have he recalls it's a memory of a conversation that happened between him and May, which occurred sometime after he acquired his powers, and she found out that he's Spider-Man. We'll come back to this scene later, but she says, "You think you don't have to listen to me now that you have powers? You know this whole thing can get really scary, and things can change very quickly in ways we can't even imagine right now." Very long sentence. And Peter says that he knows, and May says, "I don't think you do know." But that's all we're getting now, because we'll come back to this scene later. And Peter wakes up in a web cocoon attached to his apartment building.
On the outside, yeah.
And the outside, and he falls out of it, and he tries to shoot webs, but he doesn't have his web shooters. So then he falls, he smacks into the fire escape, and that looks horrible. Looks absolutely terrible. And then he stops because he shot an organic web out of his wrist before hitting the ground.
He splooged out his wrist, yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Can
always
anyone-
preferred the organic webs, by the way.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree. Absolutely,
Really?
totally disagree. I way prefer web shooters than organic
Okay.
webs.
I like
Yeah,
the
way
organic
prefer it.
webs. Is
No,
it
I-
like
So for me, it's like well, we can get into this. So the main thing for me is that web shooters as a thing that he has means, number one, that there's like a finite nature to it typically that often needs to be accounted for. Web shooters can be destroyed, which is something that he needs to account for as well. And I also don't
that can happen
necessarily
with
need
organic webs, right? Like he can run out and has to like grow more.
well,
right?
the thing that they do with the organic webs was like for the Spider-Man 2 thing, right? Where like his where it's like he's having a problem with his abilities, and so then it stops the web shooting. But I'm talking almost more just like a pure logistics thing. There's more to be accounted for logistically, almost inherently, with web shooters because of the fact that they're artificial, and there's a specific like device that that can be destroyed.
And there's a lot more like projectile options, like ammo types that can come into play as
Yeah.
well, which don't get used a huge amount, but have been used notably in earlier Spider-Man movies. But I think you can make either one of them work. But my thing's like, I think if once you've established that he uses web shooters, I think just because theme demands it, you probably shouldn't then change your mind and say no,
Yes.
he has organic ones now.
Yeah, maybe that's a
Yes.
better way to put it. Is that obviously the Raimi movies commit to organic webs, but they commit to it, so that's fine with me if you want to run with it that way.
Yeah,
But to
either
start
yeah,
with
commit to
web
it either way.
shooters, because
Primary objective is to eliminate enemy dropping into the AR.
Oh man.
it's a bit of a I know I've talked to Mueller about it. Like it was something that he noted that is kind of interesting, which is it's pretty convenient that his organic webs develop exactly where he's used to using web shooters instead of like somewhere else, like his ass. It's really good that they come out of his wrist. You know, that's something that he can adjust to rapidly compared to even if they came out of his forearm, like the top of his forearm. or his fingertips, which some Spider-Man characters, isn't that how it works with some Spidey people, that they shoot the webs out of their fingertips instead of out of their wrists?
Maybe it
came
does
out of
come
his
out from his
bum.
ass,
Like they joked
but we
about.
don't
Well,
know.
Well, again, remember it's something that they talked about in it was talked about in good old Silk. That's the character. Yeah, Silk shoots web. That's what it's very. It means it's way easier for him to adjust to the organic webs that they shoot out of the
Yeah.
exact place that he decides to use his web shooters from.
They're so similar that his AI is like, yo, these are not
You got-
compatible because they're exactly the same.
Which is pretty funny. That is pretty because yeah, that's what happens. He goes back to his apartment. It's filled with webs. He scans his body, and his arachnid hormones have surged, which has resulted in the formation of the organic web glands. And Evie wonders if this is the consequence of a recent traumatic event, but Peter's not interested. He tries.
It's
using his
well,
web shooter.
I was like, it's a really good thing that you have this AI here to just like plant these ideas into like the audience's mind and into the plot. Is like maybe some recent, da 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 thing. Maybe this is the
Yeah,
exact.
it's
Are you
of course,
suggesting
that
she's like a shitty, cheap form of exposition that keeps muttering throughout the whole film the things we could have figured out anyway?
No.
Alert! Senses are overloaded.
What? Yeah, he uses web shooters, but the organic webs blast.
The area.
Oh, like, fuck off, man. What I missed the snipe, bro?
Them off, and so she says they can't be used at the same time. This is not true. Obviously, there are solutions to this problem.
just
Yeah,
move the
if
web
you could cover
shooters
one and the
slightly
other,
one
yeah, that would
direction
be
or
good.
the other.
Yeah.
That's one way of doing it.
Put them a little
I
further
must
down
admit,
your
like,
wrist.
I was wondering whether I had missed like a bunch of dialogue in the film because we've just gone over what the AI tells him about, oh, this is happening because theme. That kind of is just it. It's like, oh, it probably is some response to a recent trauma in your past. But like, this is a kid who's blipped by Thanos and has seen Tony Stark die and didn't develop organic webs at that time.
True.
But now, all of a sudden, and after 5 years as
Just
well.
to be clear,
Yeah.
he did see Zendaya kiss Ezra, so
Oh,
That's
that's much
more
worse. Yeah.
That's much more traumatic than May dying. in
he
front of
watched
him.
Yeah.
Dune.
As a
Yes.
consequence of the choices that he made. Nah, but now it's setting off. But it's because we're doing life cycles with spiders or something. We'll get to that later. But he basically concludes that he has no choice. It's like either he's gonna have to if he can't, he has to use the organic webs if he can't solve the arachnid hormone problem, which will be a thing that comes around later. So he heads to the rooftop, and he's overwhelmed by the sights and sounds of the city. And what
How
does
do we know
Evie say,
this?
Rags?
How do we know that is that all this is happening?
Well, he's
Is that
holding
there's
his
a
head.
constant-
We hear loud
Yeah.
noises. The birds flying startles him. He can hear everything. His senses
Yeah.
are overloaded. Plainly,
And we know this because the computer lady is saying, "Alert! Senses are overloaded. Alert! Senses are overloaded. Alert!
Might be the
senses
most-
are overloaded. Alert! Senses are overloaded."
The only way to make that
Constantly
more
over and over,
redundant
which
as a
contributes
fucking
to-
notification on your system is there's too much scrambled audio. Like as in she's telling him something that even by her own definition he probably can't even hear because his senses
Yeah.
are overloaded.
It is
Like-
contributing to his overloaded senses. It's like going into a room and
Oh.
screaming, "It's too loud in here!"
you weren't here when the conversation was happening, Mola. What do you prefer, web shooters or organic webs?
I'd pick shooters, but I like both.
Okay. Wow. So you got one, the other, and then the middle. How about that?
I guess I'm not
What
the middle
about
if I'm
you?
picking one, but
Well,
still.
Then again, so was Platoon. You were kind of in the middle-ish as well. It seemed.
Yeah, I would rather have one and not
Yeah,
the
commit
other.
to one. But I
Yeah.
kind of prefer organic. I like that it leans into his biology kind of changing a bit to be more like the spider.
The
Yeah,
thing,
I like
it's
that.
funny because one of the things I like about web shooters is that it is like almost a notable exception to all of the spider stuff. He gets a whole bunch of like spider abilities except the webs. That's like the one thing
Well,
that he needs to
yeah,
create
and
for
it,
himself to,
it
like,
makes it
complete
so
the-
that him placing the webs in the most convenient place, I guess, is his choice as opposed to he just lucked out because who's that fucking guy in The Boys, Web Weaver? That's that
Right,
would be
shoots
less
him out of his
convenient.
arse.
Basically,
Yeah.
anything would be less convenient than what Peter has set up, which is fine. Like broadly, I'm not shitting on it for that. It's just that I like the web shooters angle because he chose to make it. He chose to do it as a sign of like intelligence, but it's also that's an avenue for the character technologically. The multiple modes, and then just I do like the way it can depreciate as tech in battles. Weakness to like, isn't it? Is it EMP or something? The electrical shit that he has to fight Electro with, like that fucks with him.
Well, yeah, and Electro fucks up one of them, and then he needs to use the remaining one in more creative ways, which is kind of cool.
And then he has to ground or
It's,
magnetize or something, right?
Oh yeah, and then doesn't.
Of course, he gets it wrong. Oh man, bro.
Doesn't like Lizard mess him up like in the fight in the he like destroys them, which
Yeah, and he,
means that it's like
I think in
Yeah,
Far
so
From Home
yeah.
he's out of web fluids and he has to be way more creative.
Airstrike standing by.
In the final
yeah,
fight.
which of course you can do.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Please get some shit clear. I can't be lost. Are we dead? I don't know why I don't just let you leave straight away. That fucking wait thing is.
Do with the organic webs, it's just that with organic webs, it's like, well, it's almost less tangible in a way that people can directly track compared to, oh, the device that shoots the webs is broken. I can see that it's broken.
I suppose
it
you
doesn't work
can
anymore.
do it with natural, but even in the Raimi trilogy, he never ran out. He only had the existential crisis that
was a
blocked
block.
it. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, he starts experimenting with the organic webs, and they appear to be very powerful, like more
Like,
powerful than the web shooters, like
Let's
to the
say, I
point
guess-
that they knock him down.
talking about the Eevee thing as well, as like this was like in my notes, I was constantly writing like, "Thank you, film, so much for telling me that the senses are overloaded and your heightened senses are taking in too much information." Like, yes, thank you. I feel like every other movie made can like get this information across without explicitly spelling it out to me in like multiple ways. Thank you so much, Exposition Bot, for telling me what's happening. I do have a brain. I am watching your stupid dumb film. Thank you.
Well, and then Peter receives an alert through his HUD, his super HUD. It's like in the game. It's a super sophisticated HUD. And Scorpion's broken into a damage control data center. And so Spider-Man, off he goes, but he's struggling with the webs. Not so badly that he can't actually get there, even though he gets there inefficiently. But he's hitting birds and stuff, and it's very lucky he didn't break the bird's wing. But the birds are cool. They're fine. They're
Birds
okay.
are alright. They fly away.
make it
Yeah,
through.
they're good. They're cool.
And so, Scorpion, he's looking for VMAX. It's like, right, so it's not Scorpion. This is Gene. Gene has taken over Scorpion. You do not get
Got his gear
Scorpion.
back too. Got all
Yeah,
his
he
stuff.
did. But it's Spider-Man swings in, the fight ensues. Spider-Man struggling, and Jean taunts Spider-Man about this as she attempts to stab him through the neck with Scorpion's stinger.
Yes, that is a thing that happens.
Okay.
And she
Yeah.
would have, by
And
the
then,
way. Peter's struggling. Like if he
is,
sort of,
fuck.
so to speak, gave in, like when like she would just go straight into his neck, and he'd be dead.
And he'd be coughing up blood. He'd be going,
Even though
That is the sound he
actually,
would make.
Scorpion should just have been pushed back because he doesn't have leverage. He's standing there.
Mm.
So
Well,
Superman
yes,
should
but
just
yeah.
push him forwards.
But
Let's
it's okay.
Let's rationalize the fact that Scorpion is a victim in this situation.
Yeah, he is. He is. He didn't want to do this. She made him
Well,
do
but
this.
okay,
and
but
he's,
it is absolutely necessary that she used him for this plan, though.
that's right. Yes. And but it's a fair point because Peter his arachnid hormones surge, and his eyes go black, and he goes a bit crazy. And Scorpion gets the shit beaten out of him. He gets really hurt because of this, because of and this feels so awkward, doesn't it? He's so beating the shit out of Scorpion that he slams Scorpion into a passing police car, and one of the officers inside is severely injured. I don't know how people who watch this film can square away that Peter did that with Scorpion, a guy in a suit, and it destroyed the car and it injured the cop inside. Meanwhile, Jean piloted a tank that hit several cop cars and went like rolling and fucking flying all over the place. But no, it's all good. It's all good. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt.
Also,
'Cause there are consequences to this, kind of. But
the
not really,
cope will
but kind
obviously
of.
be he was like, it's like he's possessed. It doesn't count. But to me, when you're really angry, it reminds me, we've had this conversation before about like the nature of being, take for example, drunk. You don't, if you're a normal person, you don't, because drunk, start talking about shit that you don't believe in. or start doing shit that's pointed towards stuff that you absolutely have no principle related to. Why would Spider-Man, when his villain's defeated, get so mad that he picks him back up? Which, by the way, he already knows that weird mind control shit's going on, so you're dealing... But this is the 50-50 part to me. I'm like, pick him back up and slam him such that you actually don't even know if he's going to survive. But into a cop car that's literally explicitly only there to either help you or to help innocent people. And he'd be like, yeah, but he's mad. It's like, I don't understand how he's mad would explain that.
Blind rage. It's a blind rage.
Well, but usually blind rage would take you from hitting someone you hate into maybe even killing them. Like, I totally buy that.
Well, I mean, we saw blind rage. It was when he fought Green Goblin. That was a blind rage.
But this one, very weird to me. It's like, why did you slam it? You could have slammed it into anything. You chose the police car with someone in it.
Primary objective is to eliminate all targets.
Drone, by the way. Buy tier loot zone, by the way.
Yeah.
why don't
well,
I
think,
get
I
the
think the film
fucking
wants it to be like
alert?
he has like basically
Oh, I
like
think
no.
I don't
It's
have
like
any-
instinct basically. It's not like there's even a person in there.
I think I changed it.
Something like that, but I don't know what that means
And
exactly.
if they want to crank it that direction, like what this is doing to
I
his
changed
brain,
it to
I'd have to say
adaptive.
then that makes the third act
Yeah,
suffer
that's-
significantly, considering how they resolve this.
Well, yeah. Well, it's almost like it's the Fly. Almost they're treating it like that. That it's
Yeah.
like the spider is taking over. You know,
Yeah.
it's the spider that takes over. Like how he forgot everything that happened, but he must have been crawling
But, like,
around. You know,
The
to
scene,
make
I
the
don't get why they
cocoon
do
and
these
everything.
things, because had he picked up a defeated Scorpion and slammed him into the concrete and DeWolf saw all of that, that would be enough to be like,
Yeah.
Spider-Man, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. You'd be like,
You don't have to have him
that's,
crush a
very
police...
nice.
Because I think it's made even
Yeah.
worse. She's like, you nearly killed a police officer. You need to go. It's like... he needs to be arrested, you mean? Like, what do you mean? She says, like, you can't do this
Yeah,
more than
no.
one time. You get one free
Like,
kill on the police, okay, Spider-Man?
That's right.
Every
Yeah,
super.
How did I?
Gas is inbound.
just fucking. No, I'm gonna put fucking.
That's a
Hero
bit
gets
awkward.
one.
But
Oh,
yeah,
this is
that's
what
that.
I'm talking about, by the way. Oh, please. The mutation spiked and made him do it to Scorpion on instinct. He instinctually hit a police car? This is what I mean. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Don't defend it. It's,
There's no need to
it's
defend
just-
this one. It's a weird choice. They wanted to make it
also-
so that it shows like him crossing the line, but there's better ways to show it.
But I don't even know if he's like really in control of himself. The thing is like the hormone spike, and it's almost like he's not even himself. Is he even like in
That's
there
what the film
still?
wants you to think. Basically, is like, oh, it's like the spiders come out to play, you know, like. But that's I don't know what that even means.
Yeah, I was like, I just
think-
don't know. Like, I wish it'd be more interesting if he was like still clearly in there to some degree, but he couldn't control himself. Instead of it being like up in the air as to whether or not he's even like.
Does this make us wonder about the
Cognizant of
spider,
what's happening?
the arachnid within him?
Mhm.
He's like an evil creature that wants to
He's
kill.
an evil entity. Well, no, it's because he's rejecting it. That's why it's evil. But if he
Oh, what?
sympathizes with it, then it'll be all good.
embrace the spider.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Crazy. This is
I
the
think
first time
that's
this has
what-
come up in his whole life. That's crazy.
No, I know.
It's
I think
never
the
been
movie-
successful before.
As
movie
as
wants to.
oh, sorry.
Sorry. I think the movie wants to do. This is the movie wanting to do the Venom stuff without having to do with the Venom stuff.
Maybe. I mean, they'll do it eventually. They have to. Venom's too popular. They will
But
have to
it's
do
this-
it. But then
this
again,
entire-
they didn't. They did a movie where Jean Grey's the villain and an X-Men character, an X-Men hero is the villain, and it's going to make $2 billion. So maybe they don't need to do any Spider-Man villains.
Yeah, this entire plotline just I can't wrap my head around it. Why? It just makes no sense to me, and why introduce it now?
Yeah, it's weird.
I think they're trying
But,
to give Peter like a way out in terms of it wasn't really you. It was the spider spirit or whatever.
Just like they
It's
wanna
not
give
really you.
Jean a
This
way
isn't the
out.
real you.
Well, you had a motivation to do all the evil stuff you did. It's like, oh, okay. Anyway,
It's just
Sounds
it's
familiar,
refusing
doesn't
the
it?
cool beat. I mean, it's so you can tell already where it's going. As soon as you see that scene and you know what the movie wants you to take away from that scene, then you know what the resolution's going to be. He's refusing the call because, you know, ironically from a spider, but never mind,
Refuse
still
the
the same
call.
beat in the story.
Shout Game
He
of
doesn't
Thrones.
want to embrace that part of himself,
He
and
knows
because
that
you've had the scene which makes no sense, and it's so obviously trying to tee up the thematic conclusion you already know, at some point later in the movie, with equivalently little setup, he will suddenly decide, you know what, no, I'm fine with Spider, and then he can win.
good stuff. You know, it's just great. Which yeah, brings us to the first Hulk scene. So, well, the first Bruce Banner scene anyway. The next day, Peter heads to Empire State University where Bruce Banner is working as a professor, and he's doing a lecture that he's watching, but during the lecture a student raises her hand and says, if Thanos was so worried about overpopulation, why didn't he use the magic glove to make more food?
What a dumb question, bro.
And then a
What a
guy
stupid
cosplaying as Hulk stands up and yells Hulk smash, which prompts cheers from the rest of the students.
It'd be pretty
That's
awkward
prompted.
if you put that
I
in a
mean-
movie that could fall apart with some simple questions, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like, how is this not Infinity Cones? How is this not the exact same thing? It's been less than 10 years and you're like making wry sarcastic jokes about how half of the fucking universe died.
I'd say losing, by the way. Did they nerf the train station again? What's going on?
Objective simple. Eliminate all bounty targets.
Are you just running away? What the fuck?
Enemy dropping into the AR. Target destroyed. Hell of a job.
I'm jumped in there. Fuck off. What the hell? Reload.
Gas is closing in. Reload.
Dead, bro. Like.
Well,
The only
I
accurate
mean,
thing in this movie for a college student to do.
9/11 became funny quite soon after the fact. So maybe it's kind of their equivalent of that, but like the scale is so much bigger that it's like, and it's obviously like it's the movie trying to be cute and clever. So obviously the question is, yeah, why does he not just create more food? He then says to the kids in the crowd, right, like, what's your answer to that question? And that's when the other kid does the Hulk smash thing. So it's like, it's not only is it making a cute little reference, but it's kind of then saying, yeah, that's an unanswerable question, actually. That's just an integral flaw of Infinity War, which it isn't, because it doesn't take that much work to come up with an answer to that question.
Yeah, and it might not be an airtight answer, but you can respond. You can speculate.
Yes.
People have, which is why it's weird. Instead of
Oh, by the way, to be clear, the fact that everybody cheers is the dead end. You can say that people would make jokes about that, but the fact that literally everybody in that room is comfortable with jokes like that being made is absurd. That's obviously not true. You don't think that there would be somebody that would be getting mad, like, can you please shut the fuck up making jokes about that because of the horrible trauma that I have associated with it? Don't defend it. It's retarded. It's stupid.
Still up there. Going straight to a roof.
Got gas inbound. Safe zone.
Love your playstyle, man. No face specialist is just chilling here.
Online.
Up there. course he calls me a cheater. You're so fucking shit, bro. So of course somebody plays like that will call me a cheater. Shit guy.
It's dumb, and it's lampshading as well. Like, just
You
don't.
could
It's
have
just
told,
dumb.
you could have told me this was a deleted scene from She-Hulk, and I would believe you.
It does have that energy
Yeah.
about it, which is
Mad, like, can you please shut the fuck up making jokes about that because of the horrible trauma that I have associated with it? Don't defend it. It's retarded. It's stupid. It's dumb, and it's lampshading as well. Like, just
You
don't.
could've told-
It's retarded.
You could have told me this was a deleted scene from She-Hulk, and I would believe you.
it does have that energy
Yeah.
about it, which is never ever said as a positive quality. You don't
No.
want to have the same energy as She-Hulk. We'll get more things that remind me of She-Hulk later, but we'll get there when we get there.
But yeah. Anyway, that's nobody's interested in what Bruce has to say about science. They're all just there. They want to talk about Avenger stuff. But that's it. And then the lecture ends. And then Peter approaches Bruce and asks him about the inhibitor on his wrist. You might remember this was in She-Hulk. Do you remember the inhibitor? He's got it.
Yeah, I was in the laboratory place.
Yeah, how about that? And then
Wow.
and then Peter asks a very specific question about how the inhibitor works, which sort of piques his curiosity, Bruce. And so this is really important, by the way, because this is like so unbelievably important. The film seems to even recognize how important this is. They start talking about this concept, and Peter asks Bruce if it's possible to suppress certain parts of an individual's mutating DNA, in this case, the bad parts as he deems it, and Bruce reckons it's possible, but also highly dangerous, as something like a universal inhibitor could be used to suppress the abilities of any superpowered person.
Any superpowered
Now,
person.
to be clear, Peter goes on to build this universal inhibitor, and it works.
Very
Mhm.
easily, I might say. Very, very easily.
I'm sorry, are you
It's
saying that Peter
so
invents a
breaking.
universal power remover? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes,
And by the
it
way, it's not something that has to be explicitly like tailored to the person whose powers or DNA you want to shut down. It just
No,
works on
no.
anybody. It's just
It's
universal. Like it just
universal.
it's
It
very
would work. It works
adaptive.
as effectively on Spider-Man as it works on Jean Grey, as it would work on the Hulk. Everybody. It's not just an anti-mutant device. It is an anti-every superhero device.
It's
Like to the
borderline
point that I
magic.
assume that if you, it's
I-
basically magic.
I think
And
if
he
you
builds
attached
this-
it to,
he
like-
builds-
If it,
like-
if it was a magic ring that Doctor Strange like clapped around your neck or something and it did the same thing. Yeah.
and he,
well,
he builds
it seems to me that if you attached it to like Steven Spielberg, you wouldn't be able to direct anymore. Like it just takes whatever your
Yeah.
thing is that's good.
like
You're
Michael
like,
Phelps.
oh.
Good.
Michael Phelps wouldn't be able to swim and something like
And
that.
bear in mind, he builds this in a ship with a box of scraps.
Yep. And so, of
It
course, that means
doesn't
that like, one of the first questions I'm going to be asking when Avengers Doomsday rolls around is, okay, why didn't you just use the chip on him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just use the chip, get it on Doom, and then take away his
So-
abilities.
MCU is fundamentally now fucked.
Targets are up. Hostiles down.
Oh man, why'd I have the fucking AR out, bro?
Well,
Right.
now.
Well, now, yeah, but
We're
That's
at
how you
just-
78 layers. of
once more.
fucked.
Well, so if we be clear, right, the history of inhibitors, if there is one, you mentioned the Hulk built his own, and I think we've seen there's one for what was the one that was just kind of like implied? Then someone just mentioned it, like they have that thing in that universe where they put it on Doctor Strange and he can't use his powers. Remember?
The
Illuminati.
wrists, yeah, that's on the
Um,
manacles, isn't it?
And they do that with Wanda in the Raft. So, you know, up to this point, we've had devices that can apparently tailor-made to like deal with certain things in certain contexts. But the reason why this blows the whole universe open is that you can 3D print, mass produce universal blockers for all power.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Including
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you might be like, okay, just mutants or just people with like a
No.
lower level, or it's like, well, the examples we have are Spider-Man, the Hulk, and Jean Grey. All three nuked by this.
So it's basically everything. It's everything.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything. Yeah.
That's pretty
Gamma
much everything.
radiation, It's It's like, yeah, essentially mutation, the sort of mutation that a lot of heroes have, and then actual just the mutants themselves.
Oh,
So,
we
yeah.
missed an example, actually. I did.
Fucking loadout. I played that all wrong, man. Not seeing them through the scope is so jarring, man. Just fucking shots.
I don't know why Captain Marvel keeps coming up, but she's got an inhibitor, except that inhibitor only
That's
works
right.
because she believes that she's inhibited.
And
then it doesn't work after that.
For as long as she
Doesn't
believes
work.
it's an inhibitor.
It is, but that's really funny that he
Just don't
he
believe,
does
yeah.
he does go on to invent this himself with a box of scraps.
Well, and the help of his trusty
And the
AI
help
that
of
he
an-
built.
yes. Well, and someone else who actually figures it out.
Well,
for him
there's a
'cause he
key piece of
gets it wrong.
detail, yes, that makes it all work, and obviously chat would be able to guess who gives him that key piece of scientific detail that cracks the whole program, because it's obvious who would end up doing that. Got to think smart character, scientific smart character.
Bruce, on this, he asked Peter how he could decide what parts of nature are good or bad, or if he's suppressing something which should be expressed, and Peter doesn't have an answer, which is really awkward because it's a fair point.
It's a fair question.
It's so
They should have
fair
a
that you'd almost
conversation
think that
about.
Bruce has seen the script for the movie. Like, he knows exactly what this is related to. Because, of course, at this point, he's figured out that Peter is not, because he says he's Ned, but he's not one of his students. He knows that. But it's like, how curious. But yeah, Peter goes back to his apartment, and he uses his 3D printer to create an inhibitor while listening to a documentary about the life cycles of spiders that's narrated by Keith David.
Keith David.
Yeah.
He says
Mm-hmm.
he says anthropod instead of arthropod, though.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought that was
That's
weird.
awkward.
Yeah.
And then but this is where you get the line from the trailer. The life cycles, those who make it through it, amounts to something of a rebirth. Wow, isn't that thematically potent in this movie?
A brand new day.
Even though this movie has
Basically.
decided that it wants to delay moving on from the prior cast of characters for a whole movie.
I mean,
Pretty funny that.
broadly
It
the
should
whole
be
film just feels like
Groundhog
it steps to the left, moves back 2, and then forward maybe 2.5.
Mhm.
It really doesn't feel like we went anywhere, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah. Pretty stupid. And so Peter tries out the inhibitor. He goes outside. It appears to work, but it fails pretty quickly. And a pedestrian asks Spider-Man if he's okay before saying, "Still can't sense me, huh?" Because this is Jean. This is a Jean scene, and she says, "You're the only person I've met who I can't hop into, but I'll get in there eventually. I don't get why you would work for an organization who hunts down anybody who's different." To which Peter retorts, "They're hunting you because you're dangerous."
Rude.
To be fair, Jean has no way to know any context about Spider-Man. There's nothing she could ever have known.
If I was a single
About the motivations or actions of Spider-Man. There's just nothing. There's no way.
It's not like he. No, it's not. It's
He's a
not like he
mystery.
fought Thanos. It's not like he did that.
Well, it's not like he's a
Yeah.
bona fide, pure as fuck hero for a decade, and specifically in the area she lives. It's
Mhm.
nah.
No.
Why?
Nah,
Yeah,
nah,
Spider-Man.
nah,
Why would you
nah.
work for, and then describes the institution in such a way that doesn't prompt additional questions? For example, if she said, "Why do you work for an institution that, I don't know, kidnaps innocent people?"
It's just it's just weird that his history. But as we'll find out with Jean, the history of any hero is irrelevant to her. She doesn't give a fuck if she fucks with a hero. Like just a bona fide hero, somebody that saved, millions or indeed billions or indeed even trillions of lives personally. Anyway,
Well,
so
I suppose because Jean in this scene has come to find him, one, I guess, because she's somewhat curious about the fact she can't jump into him, but two, whatever her plan is. Spider-Man now technically can get in the way. Because she can't mind control him. So she wants to seal that thread off. This is why she's here.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to find a way to make it so that he stays the fuck away from her. Now, again...
These are different pieces of fucking guy have my perks?
Wait for target area.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
We're not quite talking about it, I guess, but that is a bizarre choice to make, considering the whole context out of everything she could do, everything she could say.
Positive ID on the bounty.
Yep.
Oh, and so some of them, they didn't kidnap an innocent person. From her.
See that guy?
Good perspective, okay? That's what she thinks. You gotta remember that, because I agree with you.
POV.
But we'll...
But yeah, and then so Peter asked Jean about VMAX, which prompts her to reveal that she knows Spider-Man is Peter Parker because she.
Fridge protecting the snacks. Fridge protecting the snacks. No one talks about how hard it is to be the snack that the fridge is protecting. I was just out to dinner with some friends, and this guy and me have been making eye contact literally the entire time I was there. Finally, at the end of the night, he comes up to me and starts making conversation. And one of my friends that's sitting right next to me takes it upon herself to tell him to leave me alone. I looked at her, I'm like, I don't want him to leave me alone. And she's talking to me like she's my literal mom. She's like, oh, well, you don't know what he's after. You don't know his intentions. You don't know that man. I said, correct, which is why I wanted to talk to him to get to know him. Like, you're not my mother. Why are you controlling who I'm talking to? And why are you controlling who can talk to me? Like, sorry, maybe I'm weird for that, but like, if a man comes up to me trying to start a conversation, no matter what his intentions are, let him. Also, like, even if I wasn't interested, why can't he come talk to me anyway? That just, it makes no sense to me. I just feel like I see this discourse all the time about, oh, the fridge protects the snacks, and like living it from like the snack side of it, it's like, I get what y'all are saying. The fridge is annoying. This isn't even the first time she's done this to me, guys. Like, I'm like actually so sick of this. Fridge was
New friend, nigga.
Is in his apartment. How is that even possible?
So-
We see in the opening montage that Peter's got cameras in his apartment. He's got an AI assistant that is in all of his shit, monitoring all of his stuff.
She's on his fucking rig camera. We have
Yeah,
that
she's
technology
in.
ourselves.
She is in his apartment.
No.
As a man, right? I see a vagina, I think of pleasure, right? Now I have two daughters running around the house with no panties on. I'm changing diapers and all of that, so the house with no panties on. I'm changing diapers and all of that, so the vagina's directly in my face. And I need to reconstruct my mind to what a vagina means and also what's my relationship to a vagina. The whole generation. If it were up to me, I would drop an atomic bomb on the whole generation.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
I
that doesn't make
assume it is because she tried to get in his mind for a little bit that she learned this.
That
no,
seems like
no. The reason why she knows is because she's read the letter.
That's fine.
well, she finds the letter in the apartment.
Yeah, but she's already in
Yeah.
the apartment. How does she know to be in that
I see
apartment?
what you mean. How did she know to go to that? Oh, well, she says like it's easy because of how she can floop around and find stuff or something. I think it was something like that.
Well, so what Rag said is what I've seen people saying is the answer, which I don't really understand. I think that's very convenient
That's
that she
the only
jumped
thing
in
that comes
and
to
they.
mind?
Well, no. I think you're on point. That's the best explanation because there isn't one. Because when she jumps into his mind, all you ever get is that fucking room with Bay, which is not
Yeah,
useful
which is nothing.
information.
Doesn't give you
Well, I
any.
think it-
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm
I
coming.
feel like you kind of. So in this.
Where the fuck am I? Yeah, fuck that. Alright, I'm gone. In a bit, guys.